Accomplishments for 2020 for Public Works. Our Seward Road head wall project is complete. Reimbursement for that project has been submitted. Again, that was done through the OERF program. It's an 80/20 project. Fourth and Warner, the material that has been removed from that project has allowed us to fill in and close some of the roads down in the flats around the existing baseball fields. Our street CIP program's complete. First Street between Noble and Cleveland, I believe, is one that we used as our picture. Turned out really nice. Something that we're going to have to look at in the future for additional roads is our downtown, especially now that ODOT has done the main roads through town. Now you look off in our downtown and it really shows its age. We paved just barely over a mile using the 4 1/4 cent user fee. The Cottonwood Creek raw water intake is complete. That was a FEMA project. It was a 75% federal, 12.5% ODOT, and 12.5% local funds. Some ongoing projects that we're looking at is, of course, the First and Springer intersection, our water towers, and again, the North Street Bridge project. Jump back here, First and Springer intersection, looking at it through the 2020 street CIP using the 4 1/4 cent user fee. Just as a side note, as far as some other activities that's taken place at Public Works, we've completed since October 1 of 2019, just over 4,500 daily tasks, anywhere from grading roads, water main breaks, sewer blockages, tasks of that nature completed. We've had a total of 4,657 tasks. We've completed 4,608. So there's roughly right around 50 tasks still out there, and they vary from anywhere from patching potholes or different things to that nature. There's been roughly 2,800 man hours spent down at Mineral Wells on that project in the last year since we started it. Some goals for Public Works moving forward is, of course, to finish up completion on some of our projects, such as First and Springer, and move forward with some plan for the towers and wrap up the North Pine Street project, as well as our swimming pool. Our next slide is the pool. Moving forward with a good plan of what we're going to do in the future with our swimming pool. As you can see, just to get it opened up for the 2021 year, we've got major concrete spalling. Our pump house is going to have to be replumbed. We've already replaced the pump, which failed in 2018 right at the end of the season, and paint the entire pool. And then we're still left with our leak that we've talked about in the past with that pool. Roughly, it's a 3-inch line that feeds into that pool continuously of water source. If we move on forward for some priorities for Public Works, equipment is one of my main priorities. We're going to have to make some major purchases on equipment if we continue to plan to provide a quality service, as just daily task service, as well as doing projects such as Mineral Wells to save city money. Priority 1 would be replacing our street sweeper. It's a 2007 model. Life expectancies on these machines are normally 5 years. Almost any dealer will tell you that. You can see in this one, I've took some shots of the suction head. You can see where we've already had to patch the suction head on it. The blower side is where that big fan goes. It goes inside there, and it's sandblasted all the heads off of the bolts that hold everything together. And then on the suction side of the machine, we've already had to rebuild the intake and have it rewelded and rebuilt. This machine is roughly $250,000. We had applied for a grant through DEQ, was denied on that. It did not fit the need, was their response back from them for that grant. Priority 2 on the next slide was trying to replace some of our dump trucks. What we have here is 2 smaller dump trucks. They're both 6-yard dump trucks. One's an 85 model Ford, which is our street department. It is one that we plow and sand the streets with. The other one is a 6-yard dump truck. It's an 89 model that our line maintenance uses. It's the only dump truck they have. What we're looking at is trying to replace both of these trucks with just one truck to serve multiple purposes. Both departments will share that truck. Cost of that unit would be somewhere right around the $150,000 price range. We go through some more equipment here. Our aerial lift will not pass inspection. We've been without an aerial truck now for probably 6 to 8 months. The rotation bearing is out on that machine. It's a High Ranger aerial device. There's like 6 of those units built, and to replace the rotation bearing alone is costing us more than what a used unit would cost us. No more use than we do get out of an aerial truck, changing signal lights and trimming trees. A used machine will last us a long time. We're looking at avenues as far as OG&E, CREC, different agencies like that to see if we can find a used machine. But again, it's going to take $35,000 somewhere to that price range to replace a truck like that. Priority 4 is a backhoe that our cemetery department uses to dig our graves. It's a 2000 New Holland. It's been there since I started. It's just reached an age beyond its life expectancy. It's a 2-wheel drive machine with the additional duties that they're having to pick up and assist with in the parks. A 2-wheel drive machine is making the job extremely difficult and sometimes. The 1994 Mack truck, Priority 5, it's our only haul truck that we have to transport equipment. We bought it used. It replaced an older model truck than that in the 70s. Is an old white. We're needing to desperately replace that so we can have some means of transportation to transport equipment from job sites as well down to the city for repairs. Priority 6 is a combination of machines that we would like to look at trying to get replaced. Our little Bobcat, it's a small machine. It's the only Bobcat that we have. Since we've obtained that machine, it gets used quite a bit. We're desperately needing a size bigger. We've kind of undersized ourselves when we did get that machine. A machine with tracks would be much more feasible. We'd be able to eliminate having to rent machines to do the maintenance on the back sides of our dams at the lakes. Currently, we're having to rent one because that machine does not have the horsepower to climb them once you put the attachments on it. At that same time, we would look at getting an attachment to go on the front of that, which is a trencher attachment, and totally eliminate have to replace our only trencher machine, which is a 1990 model ditch witch. And as a combination package, we would look at replacing our line maintenance mini excavator, which is an open cab machine, and when them guys are out there fixing water main breaks and snow's blowing, it would give them some means of protection if we could get a machine with a cab and one size bigger machine there as well, so that they don't have water blowing up in their faces whenever they're out there trying to fix water main breaks. Priority 7 is a 86 model loader. It's out at our convenience center. It's one that we load material and move debris around with out there. Dirt, riprap, and different types of material for different jobs that we use around town. All of that being said, Priority 1 is equipment for public works. It's going to be a phased priority how we work that. That's a lot of pieces of machinery, and I didn't touch base on any of our pickups or anything like that. One thing that we are doing there is trying to work with Eric and take some of his and move them into our fleet and get rid of some of our older vehicles, our 90s and 80 model trucks. It's Priority 8, but really it's kind of a Priority 2 if you go to the buildings needs. Our parks department, they were housed originally in the old building down at 300 block of West Harrison. It was a 60 by 80 building that they were housed out of, and whenever the city chose to sell that building, we have shoved our parks department over into roughly 5 different smaller buildings. We housed mowers and equipment in all of the buildings that you see here. The Mineral Wells Park building down there, we've got mowers stored in it. We've got mowers stored out at the cemetery at Summit View. We've added a portable building out there as well to store weed eaters and chainsaws and stuff like that in. Out on Prairie Grove, they keep mowers as well out there at 927 East Prairie Grove. There's a photo here also showing how they're cram-packed in all of the buildings. The backhoe that we talked about earlier for them, we've had to move it outside just simply because there's no room for it inside. And we've provided them a small corner in the armory for them to make their winter repairs whenever they're moving picnic tables in and trying to paint picnic tables and do upgrades to our parks during the wintertime. Getting them a new building is really a Priority 2, but I've got it as an 8. And then Priority 9 for Public Works is a equipment shed out at Public Works for multiple departments, our line maintenance and our streets mainly. As you can see in the 2 photos there, we've got several hundreds of $1,000s of machines that set outside daily, and we would like to try to ask for an equipment shed to house some of those machines in, similar to the one in the picture. With all that doom and gloom, I did share a slide where we have made some progress over the years, whether it's money that's been saved through the operational budgets in different departments. We've been able to purchase a couple of new trucks for some of our departments. The wastewater treatment plant received a single cab Dodge truck. I don't believe this came to council. It was under the $25,000 range through state contract. We've been able to purchase 2 wide area mowers that's really assisted parks in a big way with their mowing. Our new Vector truck that was purchased through the CMOM account And as well, just recently, the most recent purchase approved by council was our patch truck, which was replacing an 85 model patch truck that was here prior to me. So I did want to share some positive feedback that you guys have made most recently.